Hello everyone and welcome to CWC F2 Season 6 Round 15 here for the United States GP. I am the hometown kid, or at least the home country kid, Pepsi Freak 2 and 2 aka ROP, and I'm again sadly here alone. Liam had some issues he had to take care of, and hopefully again he'll be here next week, but I will hopefully be able to entertain you here on this fine evening as Trope is about to start his lap around here of Circuit of the Americas. It's a relatively I guess you could say newer circuit on the calendar, at least considered by age. But Trop was our last week's winner here at Suzuka, and he's going to be trying to set down a good time here in retrospect on the grid, as he's going to be going through the S section currently here and setting times. I'm just trying to get notes and all this stuff ready to go here because a little bit of a rush, but here we go. But gotta be always prepared on the commentary booth. But anyway, Troppy does set a purple sector 1 because, well, he is the first driver to set a time, so that makes sense. But up till now, as he goes wide, that will cause an invalidation. So his time is now invalidated. So he will have to go again. It looks like, I think, one of the other Racing Point cars, I think that is Malik. And Malik is the wrong way around. I believe he slowed up there. I think he may have mucked up the S section. He's also invalidated, so his time is no longer counted as well. So he also had a relatively bad S section. Going up through the rest of the grid, we have Scanny as well. That's not scary. I am trying to get all my notes up here, so yeah, give me at least a lap here to get my stuff oriented, and we'll be good to go here. Yep, King is on an outlap, but he's also invalidated, and we'll have to go through the rest of the field, and we'll have to keep an eye on times. But as you can see here, as we ride on board here with King, King is back into the grid. He is our current points leader, and he's able to finish out the rest of the season, so you will see him here for the final 4 rounds, and he is currently leading the point standings over about 20 points over the Reds, who's currently not out there on the track yet, but Reds is 20 points behind King, and with 4 rounds to go, Reds is going to have the fight of his life, and he's probably was thinking he had a good coast to the championship, but now with King back, King's going to try to take his hand and put it back on the trophy for one more go-around. So it's going to probably be a 2-horse fight, but considering that anything is possible, both of them start missing rounds again, who knows? But with only 4 rounds left, I think we have a 2-round fight between these two for the title. And as for the constructors, Williams was able to pull out a nice little gap because of Bezier's strong performances along with Kenobi getting double points while it was just Scanny alone. But now, with King back, that constructor's title also is now a 2-horse race between the Alpha boys, the Alpha Romeo boys, and the Williams boys. But enough jibble-jabble. As I was sitting there rambling, Maddie sets the fast lap of the race with a 1:31.972. That's Smitty tops him with a 1:31.897. So Smitty first, Maddie second, Leslie Twig third. Now Kenobi goes fastest with a 1:31.262. So right now, as I was rambling, Kenobi, Smitty, Maddie all set the times on softs, while Leslie the Twig set his time on a set of mediums. I think next up is the other Red Bull of Big Boy Juan, who's actually back. Actually, I just noticed Juan is back as well, as Maze and Juan are back. It's like a little bit of a reunion, as you would say, because Maze and Big Boy Juan, or I believe it's Juan. He had a name he wanted to call him at Vietnam. I do not remember. It's been a while. But he was promoted up to Tier 1. But now he is back down here again as maybe reserve or at least a part-timer. So it's good to see him back. And also TG Maze as well. Good to see him back on the grid as well. Both drivers left to go up the ladder. Now they're back here again. So hopefully they provide some good competition, keep the field strong. But anyway, Maze does go second fastest in the Toro Rosso with a 1:31.5. And Toro Rosso, I'm definitely out of it today. AlphaTauri, that is a reference and a half. As it looks like the next driver up is the Williams of, Big Boy. Not Big Boy, Bezier. Gonna have to learn that one again as well. As Bezier is gonna set a time here, gonna come off the last corner here. It's a clean lap, so we'll see what he slots in. It looks like it's gonna be a 1:31.680, which would be P6 on the grid on a set of mediums though, so he can go faster. And John Hader sets in a 2:31.543. May have had a few offs there. Probably gonna want to pick up the pace. That is not a time to smile at, you could say. Next up, you got Demo as well in a set of mediums. He's now got a clean lap well. Looks like it's going to be a 1:34.3. That will put him P7, but like John Hader before him, he's going to have to improve as well. So we got 8 drivers that set times out there. Trope is now currently on an outlet, but he is invalidated. We got Exelic and 11 both in the pits. Connor is going to come up the last corner here, so his time is going to count. And if he loses the back end a little bit, that's still going to be a 1:33.8. That will slot him in P7 on the grid. We got Scanning Vegan. Scanning's got to run up to the line as well, so Scanning looking to try to set a pole run, or at least a relatively good time here. It's going to be a 1:32.7. That will slot him P7 on the grid on a set of mediums, and the Renault driver, Reds, who just crossed the line, I think may have invalidated his lap, so his lap will not count. Because he didn't just cross the line. I think, yeah, he didn't validate, or he just started his lap. My mistake, if that could be the case. And Trope didn't validate, so his time will not count. Other than that, we got Malik going to be starting his outlap and a few other drivers. And, yeah, we got 19 drivers in the field here. As I said, 5 rounds to go. Actually, it's 4. Yeah, actually, my mistake. It's 4 rounds to go. Yeah, just shuffling through notes and paperwork here to try to get everything all nice and situated. As you can see on the bottom screen, Malik has started his time. So actually, oh, someone's around there. That is Big Boy Juan. He is a wrong way around off the turn, turn 16 there. Very easy to get that a little bit wrong, especially with no traction control. So if you get the power off there a little bit too early or too late, you could easily, car will kick around and you'll end up in the grass. So we got the McLaren up ahead. I think that is Demo. Demo's coming in the pits. That is correct. Juan obviously is not going to be full comfortable on this lap, but he's going to go for it, at least go for one more lap. Then we got a big log jam in the S section where it looks like, yeah, Reds is currently leading that pack, but you got at least 5 cars all kind of in this little thing here. They could be tripping over each other if they don't get a little bit of a move on relatively quickly. They're all kind of off. They're all spaced out enough, but one little mistake or one little slow car could easily bunch up the field. But first up in that line is King, who's on his outlap. Actually, that's not King. Sorry, it's Scanny on the first lap, so I have to keep an eye on Scanny's time. So Scanny goes up to P6 on his time. Then we got Reds. Reds jumps up to P1. That is a pole lap from the guy that's trying to chase down the championship run right now. And we think we got King behind him, so keep an eye on King. King's going to start his lap right now. But Reds sets the time to beat with a 1:31.1. So Red's showing why he's in this championship hunt right now, currently in P1. Then you got the Ferrari next, beat by a Vegan. He's coming in the pit lane. And then you got Malik about to finish lap. So we'll finish up Malik here and take a quick second to catch our breaths and let Malik finish his lap here with 9 minutes to go. As he crosses the line, it's going to be a 1:31.3. That will put him P3 on the grid. Now, I think Reds put down a relatively good lap from what I was kind of eyeballing, at least from the sides and all the other things. He was down a relatively good lap. 1:31 is good, but I generally think one of the top drivers here could break into the 1:30s, especially as the track gets more rubber. That time could fall, and if King can keep it between the white lines, which right now he does have a good run here, so we'll see where the end of Sector 2 is. It's coming up just at the end of corner 12. That's where Sector 2, you can see the line there, it's going to end. He's going to get a little bit of tow from 11, so it's going to be interesting to see how he slots in. Maybe there's a little bit of ring rust as Juwan goes P3 on the grid with 1:31.2. We'll see where his times are. He does have a purple Sector 2 on a set of mediums. Now, I'm not 100% if that could be a glitch, because this game, sometimes when you like to cut the people, it can sometimes give you false times. So we'll have to see where he slots in, especially on a set of mediums, no less. That's not the fastest time in the world. But you wouldn't assume that'd be a pole run coming out of 1:31. But considering the highest medium run is out of 1:32.4, it'll be interesting to see where he slots in. As he comes off the last corner here, he's going to have to keep the power down relatively clean. It's going to be at least a 1:31. It's going to be a 1:31.6. And that will slot him as the highest runner on mediums, and that will put him P6, as you would say. As we do got a Haas driver going across the line right now. That, I think, is Maddie setting a time down. I think he may have validated Smitty about to start his lap as well. Then you got Trope, who's starting an outlap again, really having a problem keeping it between the lines here. He had a little bit of a problem qualifying 2 rounds ago at Russia for the same reason. So he's going to have to keep it kind of clean and set down a good time. He is a last week's winner, and he does have some pace in that car. And even though he can't win the title this season, he can be a good spoiler and set himself up for next season at a high note. So we're going to keep watching on board here. Keep an eye on that. You do have a slow McLaren just up the road. Demo going to let people go here. Just going to kind of concede the position. He is on an outlap according to the map, as I think we do have best on, so we want fitted. There we go. Yeah, so he is starting a lap indeed. He'll be going along with Kenobi, who's, I don't want to say the slowest driver in the bunch, but he's a relatively fast driver. It's just you don't usually see him up there in the tippy top of the echelons of qualifying. Usually a 5-6 qualifier. So right now up in P2, that's a pretty good lap. And maybe he's found this track out pretty well, because he does do well at technical, more downforcey tracks. So we'll have to see how he handles cording on his outlap here to see if that time is no fluke. Since he's at a timer, we do have a Ferrari up next on the track. I think that maybe it's not Hater, it's beat by a Vegan about to start his line. But then we do have that is actually King on a set of mediums. He is actually going to finish his lap here. Let's see if he's actually improved. It's going to be a 131.2, and that's going to slot him in P2 on the grid. And if I'm Reds right now, I may be sweating a little bit because the driver on a set of mediums just set that time. And I set my time on a set of softs. So if he does go to a set of softs, King may be someone to be a force to reckon with. Because if you remember correctly from the earlier seasons, I know it's a long way back, but if we do remember from the previous season, not previous season, earlier in the season, he was a relatively fast driver up in the middle section at the street circuits and was pretty quick. And that's why he got such a big lead. So he is a driver not to mess with, as I think that's actually Henter setting a lap here, someone that joined a little bit late. I'm sorry, Henner, or Henzer. There's a Z at the end, so you make me want to say Henner, but with the Z it makes me think Henners. But regardless, the new AlphaTauri driver here on a reserve role here, going to try to set a good time as well. We do have the Williams of Kenobi. He has set a purple sector too, so we'll have to keep an eye on his time. Keep an eye on his teammate who's about to cross the line. That's going to be a 136.24, and Kenobi's wrong way around. So Kenobi has lost the back end there. Looked like he had a good lap going, and just that corner has caught him out, and I think it will catch a lot of drivers out because it's pretty easy to get the power wrong. As now Trape, who's able to keep it within the white lines, and sets a 1:30.569. And I do have a pronunciation guide for Henners. It's Henners. So thank you in the person in the comments for correcting me on that one. Henners. Thank you. As anyway, keeping on times here, I think someone did just jump up. Kenobi is struggling to kind of get around the grip here. Looks like he's going to have to pit for a new front wing with 4 minutes to go. He's going to have to make a quick cut and make it work. Checking the lines. I think that's King. King is going to be coming in the pit lane a set of mediums. Definitely going to be trying to set out a lap of softs relatively quickly. Kenobi definitely coming in now. We do have the Haas driver of Smitty up next. And Smitty's coming in as well, so he's going to be regrouping. So majority of these drivers, because I think a lap around here is about a minute 31. You're going to have to head out. If you want 2 laps on a set of softs, you're going to have to head out probably within a minute 30 to get a good run at it. But if you only want 1 lap, you can go in about 2 minutes time. So we'll have to see as a lot of drivers are coming in to get regrouped, but not everyone. Trape is going to be on a slowdown lap, presumably, as he's going to end Sector 2 here. Yep, he's cooling down his times. Bezier as well. The only drivers currently out there setting times right now to actually go for a pole run here is Lesty and Scanny, both on sets of softs. And if you remember correctly, they both set their times on mediums. So they're looking like they don't want to stay on the mediums and want to try to get inside the top 10 for both drivers. And even though it's not going to be very easy for Scandy or Les to get back in the fight, they are not technically mathematically eliminated, but they're going to need a lot of things to break their way to even have a chance to get any chance at winning this title this season. But at least Scandy can still hold his head high for a Constructors run. As I think Demo did just set a time as well. Demo has jumped up to P11 with a 131.7. Not inside the top 10, though, and he's only got 3 minutes, so he's going to have to go for another lap quickly, but he just cuts the corner, so that may be it for Demo during qualifying, because he will not have enough time probably to get around and switch tires. As beat by a Vegan up next, he's going to be pitting as well, so I have to keep an eye on Lesty and Scanny. Scanny's the fire driver up the road. He'll be the first one to watch this. I think actually Reds is on a lap right now, at least according to my map. Yep, Reds is on a lap, so we'll keep an eye on Reds here instead, because Reds, and now he's invalid, so I think I may have just jinxed him, so he's going to have to slow it down and conserve the tires because he's going to have one more run at it. But we can at least look at his first split time for the slowdown. I think he was on pace, at the very least, to at least get into the 130s. But I don't think he's got times that he can get inside the 136 range. But again, you never know. Maybe he lost more time in the second sector. So we'll cut back on board with Scanny here. Now Scanny's on a lap here. He's going to have a little bit of traffic coming out of pit lane. One driver really did not give him much room here. He's going to go wide off into the corner here. Hope he didn't infect Scanny too much. Same thing with Lesty. Lesty's going to come out with a clean track, while Scanny did have kind of a little bit of a fright before going into the S section. Scanny going to run up and down the S section, and he's barely going to keep in the lines there. Definitely want to probably keep it straight there, but that would have been a cut. He's up by at least a quarter of a second, and now he's invalidated, so time done. He's going to have to quickly get back around in order to set one more time. Lesty up next here. Lesty's up by half a second, still clean, so Lesty definitely is on pace to jump inside the top 10. If my math is correct, he's definitely on pace to jump inside the top 10. We'll have to see on that retrospect. So keep an eye here. Reds, well, we're going to cut back to Reds here. We'll cut back to Scandy, not Scandy. We'll cut back to him in a minute, but Reds is on a slow lap here. We'll see here. He's definitely going for one more attempt here. This is his last attempt. If he cannot improve, or if he invalidates, it's over. So we'll have to see how he does in retrospect. And if he does not, if he can learn from the mistakes of the previous lap. Goes in the first corner here, gets kind of in the apex. Could have got a little closer, but we'll see here. The S section did cost him out last time, so he's going to have to take it relatively clean. It's very easy to cut the S section, and he's going to have to set a good time here now. And, oh, that's invalidation, and that's run over for Reds. There's no chance for an approval for Reds, so that is qualifying done for Reds. Highest Reds will go is P3, and with King, Kenobi, Malik, Maddie, Jawan, Vezier, and Trape all out on laps, along with Maze, I think it's safe to assume that he may be in a little bit of trouble right now. So we'll cut back, keep an eye on the map here. I think Scandy's about to start his lap, but we're going to have Lesty the Twig. So we'll cut in Lesty. Lesty crosses the line. That's going to put Lesty P3 on the grid with a 1:38.54. So Lesty going to be the first one to cross the line with a clean lap. So because remember, Scandy didn't validate, but Scandy is going down again. So a lot of drivers are going to have to keep an eye on times. That King has started his lap, Kenobi has started his lap, and Jawan already technically started his lap, but he's going around for another lap here with a minute to go. So Kenobi up first here. I think... Yep, King is through the S section. He's still clean. Kenobi up. I think Kenobi is currently the fastest of the drivers currently out on their laps. As I think that is Malik about to start his lap as he crosses the line. Nope, that is Trape who started his lap. So I think the Red Bull driver... Yep, Juan's going to be starting his time. Then you got the Ferrari beat by a Vegan. Then you got... That is Reds who's invalidated. Yeah, he's coming in with 36 seconds left. No way he wants to start on 3-lap old softs. Then you got Malik who's about to start his time. And then, I think it's the Haas driver. Yep, the Haas driver is going to be the first one, as Reds now is officially actually retired. Nope, he's at a time to... Yep, the first driver that's going to set a time is going to be... it is going to be, I had to think here, Kenobi. Kenobi, so we'll have to keep an eye on Kenobi's times. This is going to be his last run here. This is a put-up, a shut-up lap. If he's made a mistake, it's over. He will not have enough time for a rebuttal unless he gets by there in 6 seconds, which I doubt he will. We'll see where he does the time here. Maze jumps up to P4 on the grid, and Kenobi's going to slot in with a 1:38. That will slot him P4, and that will bump Maze down. Maze will have one more rebuttal lap. Next up, you got, I think that is going to be King. King is up to 1:30.024, so King sets the fastest lap of the race. Scandy jumps up to P7. Next up, you got the Red Bull driver of Leslie, who's going to be coming in the pit lane. Then you got Big Boy up next. That Big Boy is invalid, so Big Boy time is not. Then you got Hen Nezer, and he's going to go up to P15 on the grid. Then you got, I think that is Demo. No, that is Connor. Connor up next, but Connor's going a bit slow, so Connor's time will not count. Then you got Claire and Trape. Trape going through the last couple corners here. Trape just barely going to invalidate there. I think he was on a pole run there, and I don't think there will be a rebuttal. Definitely not, and he'll slide in P2 for now. But only 2 other drivers on laps in that top 10 range. It'll be interesting to see. We got Big Boy up next, but Big Boy hasn't validated like I previously stated. Beat by a Vegan. Setting a somewhat okay time, but probably not going to improve it. Now he's invalidated. Now it's up to Malik. Malik up next fast run. We got Malik, and then we got the Haas driver, and then we got Bezier, and then we would have Maze just in that train, so we'll have to keep an eye on the times. Malik up next. Malik, where will he slot? It's going to be a 1:38. That will put him in P6. Next up, you got the Red Haas driver, Maddie, who will not set a time. Then you got the Williams driver, Bezier. What will he slot in with? It will be a 1:35.420, and that will be putting him P2 on the grid. And the last driver up is Maze. Maze is kind of on a cooldown lap, at least according to the sections. So I think that will be the end of qualifying here, as he does pull in the pit lane. So King, our current points leader, back from a little bit of a sabbatical, now showing why he had that big lead to begin with a 1:30.024. He'll be lining off in pole position with Bezier in second, Trape in third, Leslie the Twig, maybe a little bit too late for a championship run, but definitely comes in with P4, had a fast run, Kenobi 5th, Malik 6th, Maze 7th, Scandy 8th. Then you got Reds, who was probably wishing for a little bit better of a qualifying. In retrospect, was up there at P3 with 4 minutes to go, and then could not put down a better lap. 2 straight laps of duds and cutting, and he will now be off P9 with Big Boy Juwan's return to the series in 10th, Maddie 11th, Smitty 12th, Demo 13th, Beat by Vegan 14th, Hen Nezer in 15th, Connor 16th, 11th, 17th, John Hader 18th, 2 other drivers 19th and 20th. We'll have to wait for them to come back around. But yeah, that was an interesting qualifying indeed. King showing again why he is currently our championship leader and putting down a dominant performance qualifying. But they don't give out points for qualifying, so he's going to have to show that he doesn't have that ring rust and is able to put down a good showing during the race. As Exalic was 19th and Hader was 18th. So yeah, that will be the end of qualifying there. There's your top 10. No driver qualifying instead of medium, so 11th on back. So Maddie on back will have free tire choice, while top 10 will all have to do on a lap of softs, with different varying degrees of soft conditions as well, because some did 1 lap on them, some lap did 2. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out during the race. But yeah, we will see you during the race. And I am back. Just took a quick bite of my lunch, had a little bit of a sip of drink just to get ready for this nice race here for CWC, as we got 19 cars taking the grid, all looking to have a good performance here. 28 laps here at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, as the American watches on with glee, hoping for a good race here today. So let's take a quick look at the tire choices here, see what everyone has done. What's worth noting is Maddie and Smitty went for a set of, the Haas boys both went for a set of mediums, while Demo and Vegan both went for a set of hards, but 15th on back all decided to go for a set of softs. So what's interesting to note is 11th through 5th, 14th decided to go for a hard tire, while 15th through 19th decided to say, just go for what we can get and go for broke. So yeah, we got a little bit of pace laps here. It looks like it's a nice dry day. I don't think there's any chance of rain here. I know in COTA there is always a chance of rain. And we'll be interested to see. Someone in the comments has said if I'm excited for Miami next year. I think it will be an okay track. I think the main gripe is that it kind of has that feel of all Tycho tracks, where the long straights, and it just has the same kind of cookie, I won't say cookie cutter vibe, but very same feel to a few other circuits. So it'll be interesting to see how they actually race on it before I pass judgment. But COTA is a good circuit, so it's kind of a shame they will be kind of getting rid of it. Or at the very least, if they do 2 races in the United States, it's a different story. But if they did get rid of COTA for Miami, it would be a little bit of sad hours. But it's interesting to see how they'll handle Miami. But with how they've been doing street circuits late, I'm always a little bit questionable. As June, Big Boy, has crashed out, and he's going to be sitting on the naughty stool here, as he's going to have invalidated. So he will be sitting on the naughty stool, getting ready for the start of the race, and have to sit in the steward's office waiting for everyone else to have their fun as they wait for the little parade lap of recess. But yeah, I guess while we wait here, I should quickly just say real fast, do a quick plug. If you like what you see, why not like and subscribe to League Racing TV? There's multiple leagues that run throughout the week, from CWC to EML to the main bread and butter TTML. So if you can always watch these leagues with much different commentators, all racing at about 7 or 8 p.m. UK time. So why not like, subscribe, and if you like the league, you can follow them at CWC Racing, where you can stay up to date with the news about this league. So quick plug over. Let's do the quick promotion here as well, who I think is going to be the top 3 here. I'm going to say King comes back and wins in his debut comeback race. Then I'm gonna go Bezier, and then Lesty the Twig. No, let's do King, Lesty, Kenobi. I'm gonna go with 2 underdogs. Lesty and Kenobi get that podium. We'll say something happens to Bezier or Trape. But anyway, as we got 28 laps, and now I just gave them the ultimate drinks, we'll see how it all works out. I think maybe Reds is a little bit happy about me jinxing him. But anyway, got 28 laps here. Hopefully they give me a little bit better angle than the rear of the field. There we go. We got the 5 red lights, and waiting, and away we go, and off they go into corner 1 here. Looks like King got the good jump here. Bezier in second. Looks like Scanny's got a good run in one of those AlphaTauri cars, and he's going to have to slot in position, though, as it looks like the other one is going to Trape. He's got 3 wide here, under pressure, and oh, they go around. That is going to be a big mistake there. Scanny, wrong way around, and he's collided with, I think that was Kenobi. Hope we get some cameras back there. Safety car is out, and you can see that Maddie, Kenobi were involved in, along with Scanny, and I think that was Malik as well. So Malik kind of got loose on the exit of the corner, if I'm not mistaken, and he lost it kind of the field, and he took both Kenobi and Scanny with him for a ride, and the safety car is out. No retirements, but as you can see, a ton of penalties that are going to have to be served for 5 seconds of collisions. We got Trape with 5, Demo with 5, 11 with 5, Malik with 5, Began with 5, Juan with 5, Connor with 5, and Kenobi with 5, and we think, if I'm not mistaken, Scanny has damage. So a lot of drivers are going to be pitting here to serve those penalties, because unlike in real life, you can actually serve those penalties in-game, in pit stop, to get them cleared. So this would be a good chance to get it wiped, per se. But anyway, yeah, big loser there, Kenobi and Scanny. I think I may have given the ultimate jinx to those 3 drivers, lest he kind of got a little bit bogged down. But anyway, as they're going to pace around here, we're going to have at least 2 laps with the safety car. We'll see how many drivers decide to come in and pit to fix damage in that. It's a little bit too early. There's no way the hards will make it to the end from this distance, so everyone that pits will have to pit again. But maybe if another safety car does come out, they could play a different strategy here and make something happen. Maze is the big winner off the start. The Reds is actually the big winner. They're able to avoid all the chaos and get up to 4th. That's what he needs. Being 20 points down, needs to really get a good performance here. Looks like Bezier thinks about coming in. He'll stay out. Reds is going to be the first one in the back to the pit. I don't think he has damage, so I think he wants to try to go off sequence here. He's going to pit. Then we got the next driver up as well. We got, as my scoring table gets all screwed up here, we got Trope, 11 staying out, beat by Vegan pitting. It looks like almost, yeah. So Reds, Malik, Juan, Zelik, Kenobi, Scanny, and Maddie all pitting. And all, actually, and Reds did get damage, so never mind. Reds actually did get some damage off that line, so he did have to pit to fix it. We do have a double stack there in the Racing Point garage. And Trope is going to hold up Malik a treat here. Malik going to go to the tail end of the longest line here, basically BP19. As much other drivers will serve their penalties as well and take this opportunity to serve it. Smitty gets a 5-second penalty for a collision under the safety car, beat by a Vegan. As we got a big train up here. As I was watching the pit lane, I could see why maybe that could have happened, because there's a big old train up here. So we got 11th and 7th here with 5 seconds. Smith and Vegan all have it. Everyone else has served. Red's the highest run of current pit runners. He went on a set of softs. Trope went on a set of mediums. Scanny on a set of mediums. Juan on the mediums. Zelik on the mediums. Maddie on the mediums. Kenobi on the medium. And Malik on the mediums. So the only driver to not go on a set of mediums there in that pit stop phase was Reds. Everyone else went for a set of mediums. All going to have to pit again, but I think Reds wants the faster, shorter stint, while everyone else kind of wants to go long in the tooth and hope maybe there's another safety car. And considering the chaos on lap 1, I don't think that may be far-fetched. There may be another one. As it looks like Demo maybe going a bit slow here as well. Under pressure here from Scanny. So something worth noting here to note. So yeah, just as we wait here again, the pace here, I don't think anyone else will pit. Take a look at the comments again. We do have someone rooting on Twig. We got Disco Stu, one of our AlphaTauri drivers. Sadly not here as well. Hopefully he can come back and finish up the season for us. But till then, he's rooting on his... he's voting on Leslie to have a good performance here today. And, yeah, to acknowledge that other person in the comments as well. Yeah, Coda, I'm assuming, is staying, which is hopefully the good case there. But, yeah, they definitely will probably be rough on the cars. I would agree with you on that point. So, yeah, safety car will be coming in, probably not at this lap, but the next lap, as the rest of the field is getting bunched up as we speak. We'll see if anyone else decides to pit. Indeed. And yeah, just because we do want to see you get back here soon, so hopefully your work does let you. As actually, I think someone has pitted. Beat by Vegan is going to pit to serve that 5 seconds. So, and he gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. He tries to get a 1-up on the game, and the game decides to throw another curveball at him. So, he places 5 seconds for another 5 seconds. But at least he'll get off those hards for a set of mediums. At least that's a positive. Also, he did have a kind of broken wing, so yeah, maybe that collision did give him a broken wing as well. So that's probably why he pitted, but cannot catch a break. So yeah, as we just kind of wait here, just checking through the field here, seeing how everyone's doing. Everyone seems to be relatively good. No mistakes. I know you probably get motion sickness. I'm having the Kevin Dunn cameras right now, cutting everything, but just kind of running through the field, make sure everyone is good. No mistakes, no issues. Everything is relatively clean. As I take a quick another bite of my sandwich there, I do have a sandwich next to me, so sorry again for the little pause there. We're on the safety car, so I don't think it's too big of a deal here. But, yeah, 11 did collide. I think it was 11, I'm not mistaken, collided with John Hayter there. So on those past 2 safety cars here, a Ferrari has collided with another driver. So, Ferraris may not be the most popular on the team. His safety car is in this lap. So we'll cut the maze here. King has been a little bit away right now. He has an actual karting, so he's actually been driving in the real life. But the question is can King get ready for these safety cars in question and be grouped up, ready to go? So I'll have to watch and see as he goes past the Rolex Center. Safety car going to drive off. Bezier in second, Mays in third. So keep an eye on that. King, if I remember correctly, likes to go late in the tooth here. So we'll have to see how he does on retrospect. Trying to work here as John gets now 5 seconds for 11 again. Those two really are not liking each other. as Hater gets 5 for a collision with 11, but King still kind of waving the tires up. Probably going to wait it up here, going to hold him up to the last corner to really get him stacked up here. King is going to wait a little bit longer. Just waiting. He's really waiting for the line there. Now he goes right at the end of the line there. Gonna catch Bezier, not napping too much here. Looks like everyone else is clean. We got a little bit of a pilot, well, not a pilot, 5 and 6 here, all fighting in retrospect. Really not got a good angle here. There we go. As we do got a pass there for, it looks like Hater going to try to make a move on 11, as for some reason it puts me in a bad angle there, as it looks like Hater's going to try to make the pass on 11, 6 and 7, going to go through that section here. It looks like they're still going to be side by side. Never works, but Hater's going to get out ahead, and Hater will make the pass for 6, and now he's going to have to cut the corner because he didn't get the extra right, and it looks like he almost bumps 11 off the road there. I think he did. You can see a particle wing flying off in the distance there. He is really backing up 11 here, and this is not what Reds, Smitty, or the rest of the field wants to see, because they have a ding-dong battle. They could take him out and could easily cause traffic. I know 11 has a bit of a wing particle there, and is probably not too happy with the Ferrari drivers. Reds is going to try to make quick work of the Ferrari driver, as he's going to cut the corner there. Reds 11 is trying. There's a big stack up here. Too much to cover. 3 wide. Hater touches 11. Hater going wrong way around, and Hater touches the wheel, and Hater is in the wall. That's wheel off. That's race over for Hater. And that is just calamity. Hater not feel probably comfortable under the brakes. And 11, Smitty can't judge the braking point because of the damage. And that's going to cause Trape to sneak on by. So Reds and Trape already trying to make quick work of the field. Reds luckily got no damage from that escape, but he's probably a little bit scared after all that things that happened. He's trying to make quick work of 11. Oh, they touch wheels. And Reds and 11 touch wheels here. And it's going to allow Trape to make a move on the outside. Try it anyway. Give me an angle here. Now 11 going to be no downforce. That's really going to affect her, and that's going to allow both Reds and Trape to get on by here, and they're going to sneak on by. So 11 now going to come in the pit lane here, try to fix the wing. 11 was probably hoping to stay a little bit up there on the grid there, but having a ding-dong battle with Hater cost her dearly. Yellow flag sector 3. She's going to be the pit lane here. Actually, yellow flag sector 3. My mistake. That's Malik in the pit lane. As we were kind of watching the battle up front there, I think Malik may have got damage as well. So Malik not having good damage. Now he's retired from the session. So if he did have damage, he decided to retire from the race. So probably not happy with his position. Maybe not a big fan of Coda. But, yeah, take a side catch up break here. As we check here, we got the AlphaTauris in 3 and 4 fighting up here as well. And we do have 11th and 12th between Scanny and Kenobi. So we'll keep an eye on both drivers here on retrospect. Vegan also in the back of Maddie. So we got 3 fights here to watch. So we'll kind of board with 3-4 right now, but we'll keep an eye on the times on the board. Actually, Scandy could have a lunge here in 11th. He will have a lunge on Connor. So Scandy going to try to make it work on Connor. Connor going to try to put a little bit of a pinch on him, but will not make it happen. That will allow him to go on by at the very least, especially with the run here. John Haters left the session as Scandy going to get on by, and it looks like Kenobi as well going to try to crypto on by on those mediums, and he will make it work. Connor down to 12, and it looks like Kenobi going to try to make a 2-piece happen here. Going to try to make it around the outside. Can't make it work as Bezier's left the session. Bezier has just lagged out. He's currently in P2. Going to be the quick rusher as Connor runs in the back of him. Henninger gets a time penalty. Just a lot to cover here. But right now, that is not good for Bezier. He is currently lagged out. And, yeah, he's going to have to try to quickly get back. Or else he'll be in trouble, as I think something may have also happened to Big Boy, as Big Boy's back in 16th here, as DRS has now been enabled. So, a lot of chaos here happening on these opening laps here. That's what you like to see. Yep, you can see the lagged out car of Bezier. Hopefully he can quickly get back, but that's going to allow Maze to jump up to second, and that will probably at least allow Hen Nezer and Lesty the Twig also to get on by. So, quick rush here. He's going to be rushing as King is now 3 seconds clear of Maze. So King, no pressure. Now he has officially rejoined, but it's still going to take him a couple seconds to load in, so he's going to fall down to at least a 5th. Maybe 6 if Red hurries up. That was Lesty gets a 3-second time penalty for trying to make that pass. It's on him. Just kind of got a little too close to the corner and cuts. And that's no bueno for him. So anyway, we'll have to keep an eye on Bezier here as we now got Kenobi and Scanny for 11th to 10th. Could have a lunge here with DRS enabled. Definitely Kenobi will have a lunge on Scanny. So we're going to cut back to Bezier here. Bezier's still not in control of his car. I think he's still not at the wheel yet. We'll cut aboard here with Reds. Yep, he is still not here yet, as now my timing scoring is all screwed up here. I think he may have now officially rejoined. Yellow flag sector 2 here. Everything is flashing. The lights, they're flashing. Now he's re-left the session, so he is clearly not having good internet here, and that is not what you like to see from him. Hopefully my timing scoring gets fixed, as now Kenobi and Scanny are fighting here, as Kenobi's going to make the pass. Good lunge there, and he'll make it happen. Kenobi the 10th, Scanny the 11th, and that is 10th and 11th for those two, as I think Maddie also made a lunge on Connor for 12th. So yeah, gonna try to cut through the field here, see if I can quickly find where everyone is, any battles up front here. It looks like there's a little bit of a close battle here for third and second here between Maze and Hennezer. And Lesty's also on the back of this train as well. So 2, 3, 4 all fighting. Now the intervals are getting refixed here, so we'll see how everyone slots in. I think this is a close battle we have on track, except maybe we'll have a pass here for Kenobi and Scandy. Can the AlphaTauri driver make a lunge here? No, he cannot. His teammate 2 and 3 are still going to say the same. We'll cut back to Kenobi here. Looks like Kenobi is got a little bit away from Scandy, but up the road here we got Demo on Smitty, both battling on those mediums there. Can he try the undercut move? He will make the work move happen. Switchback successful. Demo up to 8th, Smitty down to 9th. As Vegan has pitted, and Trope gets 3 for multiple warnings. That S section takes no prisoners, and Trope gets 3 for his troubles. Now he has now got 3 to count with. Is Bezier maybe trying to rejoin here? We don't know. But if that's race over for him, it could be race over. He's falling like a stone. If he does come back, we'll need a safety car. As now Big Boy gets a 3 seconds add to his troubles as well. So now he is going to add 3 to his name as well. So a lot of the field is being a bit naughty, as 11 is now able to pass Vegan for 16th on the grid. Back to 4th, 3rd here. Big train here up front. Indeed, Lesty on the back with that DRS. Could be 2, 3, 4, but they fight. As Smitty, my mistake, has made a pass on... blank there, the McLaren, but the McLaren is not going to go quietly into night here. Going to try to hang out the outside here. Could go for another switchback here, but now that Kenobi's here, that's not going to be too easy for Demon to make the switchback, because Kenobi was trying to put his nose in there as well. But Smitty's going to retake back 8th, Demon the 9th, and now Lesty's made a pass for 3rd, as Hennezer's in the wall. He's mucked up the S section, not the S section, he mucked up turn 18, 19 at fast left. Maybe there was a contact, who knows? I did not get a good look. We were watching the battle in the back there. Someone will probably tell me. But Hennezer now has got damage. That will be a VSC. That will neutralize the field and will give everyone a second to catch their breaths. As now Lesty up to 3rd. I don't see any damage on Lesty. So if they did collide, it wasn't with wings. But it's very hard to go off that section of the circuit he was in, 17-18 section. So my money thinks they may have touched, or maybe he touched Maze. But I don't see any damage on Maze either, as King is really back down the field here on the VSC. But I think that's because he waits till the delta is... he bats him all the way up, and then he lets him go. So he's kind of holding deep here. So he's got the gear glitch. Yeah, now you can definitely see he's giving up that time back now. So he's definitely going back up 3 seconds here. So was just trying to take it so he could go flat off the line. A little tricky from King there. Indeed. So we do have Maze. I'm trying to get a good look at Maze, but I can't get a good look at his wing here. I think he is okay, as we're still under VSC conditions. Yeah, no, he's good. Xel gets a drive-through for speeding on the CSC, but my scoring table's still screwed up. That's because Bezier just rejoined. Hopefully it will settle. I think it has. Demo's now up to 7th, making a pass on Smitty for 8th. These two have been still fighting. They were fighting before the VSC came out, and they're fighting still. Demo will get with DRS back around. Smitty 8th. Now Kenobi and Scandy here to join the battle. Scandy almost runs in the back of Kenobi almost runs in the back of Smitty, and Scandy almost runs in the back of Kenobi. So 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, big fight here for the back of the points here. Maddie is kind of far off the pace here, so if they keep fighting, though, that could allow Maddie to get back in this fight and have some fun, as they would say. As Bezier is now left, I think that may be a sign from Bezier not to rejoin again, because I think he's having internet problems. So that's race over for Bezier. He's probably kicking himself because he was in 2nd, and now any chance of him even getting a good finish out of this race is probably gone. So R.I.P. Ribbon Pepperonis, Bezier. But anyway, got a battle here for 6th, 7th, 8th here. Smitty not far enough to make a pass. None of these drivers are really close enough to use this DRS range to their advantage. So all going to stay in line and just tuck in behind that. We do have Lestio up the road here on the back of Maze. Red's also there as well. Now Bezier has rejoined, so never mind. Bezier is going to keep trying to get back in here. Hopefully, again, he can. But now that his AI has pitted him, he's putting back down to 12. Smitty kind of gets run the back. Yellow flag, Sector 1. That is someone up there. I think that's Bezier. Yep, he has stopped on the track. For some reason. His AI has stopped him on the track, or he has stopped on the track. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Anyway, we'll cut back to the battle here, because I don't want to lose this battle too much. We'll keep an eye if he ever moves. And now he's been disqualified for parked in a dangerous location, so that is race over for him. So any chance of even if he does join back, it's game over for him. We got Demo in 6th, Smitty in 7th, Kenobi in 8th. No lunges here. Looks like Smitty's going to actually try something around the outside on Demo here. and it's going to try to make it work here. He's going to try to hang it around the outside. Can he make it work? Demo's going to have the preferred line at the very least, but then Smitty will have it back. Still side by side. Smitty going to go a little bit too lunge here. Demo with the switchback he loves to do, and Demo is going to make the pass. Demo holds back the 6th position for now. Smitty got a little too over anxious, and then we do got Scandy. As I was watching on board with Kenobi there, Scandy going to try to hang on the inside here, but he will not make it work. Scandy will have to retreat and will be in P9, but he definitely was keeping Kenobi honest there. So Kenobi needs to get by him quickly. Smitty goes a little bit too wide here. That's going to allow Kenobi to sneak up the inside, and Kenobi up to 7th. We do have a yellow flag in sector. Weird glitch. Yeah, this game, 10 months in the cycle always has the glitches, but hopefully they don't bother us too much here. Kenobi to 7th, Smitty to 8th, Scandy to 9th. Again, hopefully the Ghost of Ezir is not causing this too many problems here. As Kenobi isn't going to make the pass, that will give him some breathing room from Scanny, but Smitty won't let him go too quietly tonight, at least I would assume. As now Reds gets a time penalty as well for 3 seconds. As Redzo has caught the back of this train here, though. So he needs to get close to King as possible to try to minimize the damage of points. And we do have the Yellow Flag 2, and that's Big Boy Juwan. He has crashed off there, and he has mungled up the S section quite horribly. I don't think we'll get a camera over there to check to see how badly he mungled it, but that will be a virtual safety car. Field is neutralized, and will allow the field to catch. I don't think... Keep an eye if you can see a Red Bull off the side of the road there. He should be coming up here to the right. You can see he just went hard off into the tire barrier there. And, yeah, that's wheel gone. Really mungled up that S section. Really did. A lot of drivers getting claimed by that S section there. So yeah, take a quick second, catch my breath. Hopefully my voice is not too annoying for you, as we're only on lap 10. So yeah, you've had to put up with me for 10 laps. We got at least another 20 more. Yeah, not 20 more. 18 more. My mistake. 19 actually. As Vegan gets a drive-through for feeding under the VSC. So bad run for him. Now he's going to have to pit to serve that penalty, as now Reds has gotten around Lesty, as Lesty has actually decided to pit here. If you do recall, he was on a set of softs, so he qualified high. So he decided the first run to pit on a set of softs here. Probably try to get a little bit of advantage of that VSC, but maybe timed it just a bit too late, so not really much advantage he will get. But you never know. Reds on the back of Maze. Could try to make quick work of him, but with time penalties galore, as actually I think King really coughed up a lot of time on that VSC. Maybe trying to play a little bit, maybe a little bit bored checking out of the field here. Maybe he monked up the VSC, but he really was not that far ahead, so I think King was really just conservative on the VSC, did not want to risk a safety car. Maybe a bit too, drive-through, a little bit too conservative. As top 4 are all under this blanket here, then Demo's 9 back. Kenobi now under pressure. Going to make him lunge on Demo here, I would assume. Keep an eye on both Reds and Maze and Kenobi and Demo here. Definitely a pass will happen between Kenobi and Demo. But maybe not so much for Reds and Maze, as it looks like actually Reds is getting kind of close there. As we can see, is he going to make a lunge? No, he will not be able to make a lunge. As you can see that he's only 3 seconds behind, so no lunge there. But Kenobi going to make a pass here, and he's going to make it relatively quickly on Demo. But we know Demo likes to do switchbacks here, so if Kenobi goes a little bit too deep, Demo is going to be there to capitalize. A little bit of a lockup for Kenobi, but Kenobi will hold spot, and Kenobi will kick back 5th position, as it looks like 11's got past his teammate, her teammate, Exelic, for 12th. Now back to Reds here, the battle for 3, 2, 1. King, Maze, and Reds all under this blanket here. Again, King has 3 seconds. Now King, it looks like he was going to fake to go into pit lane there and decides to bail on it to kind of fake out the competition. But Maze decides to pit, and he will be pitting, but no other driver will take him in. So Trape going to take over 3rd, and Reds will take over 2nd when Maze pitting. But Maze going to go for the undercut here. The undercut is strong around Coda, so it's a good chance that that undercut could work and put him a little bit higher, as now Xelk has repassed 11 for 12th. As Kenobi and Demo all jump at the field again. Big blanket here in the back, so nothing worth noting. We'll see how far Lesty comes out pretty far behind, but I think Lesty may have had to serve a penalty if I'm not mistaken. Now 11 gets 3 for multiple warnings. Yeah, Lesty comes out pretty far behind Maze, so that under the safety car did kind of hurt him there. So we'll see how Maze can do with this open track, but with King, Reds, and Trape all having DRS, they're going to kind of feed into each other and help each other along a little bit faster. So we'll have to see, though, because we'll be pitting relatively soon. So if we go back to check pit stops here, as you know we love to do around here. Now Lesty gets 3 for more multiple warnings. That is really going to hurt him in the hunt to get back in this race. But King is on 11 lap old softs. Red's on 9 lap old softs. As Trape, as I was riding on board there, did not get a look. I was checked out the intervals there. Trape makes a lunge that even caught me off guard. And Trape now going to be jumping up to P2 on the grid. And he will now be 2nd. So Reds probably wants to pit sooner or later in those softs, but if King can take them 11, you're safe to assume that Reds, who pitted under, if you remember correctly, Trope and Reds both pitted under the safety car on lap 1. So, yeah, it shows that Reds may have should have went on those mediums. So anyway, as we'll see here, if King decides to come in, now King decides to come in, and Reds will follow. So looks like King really made those softs go a little bit longer than they probably should have, but really going to stretch out for the long run here, as Trope will inherit the lead, and Kenobi and Demo will handle second and third respectively, bearing no pits, and they will not pit. So the question is, how far will Maze be behind or ahead when they decide to pit? So keep an eye on your screen here. King is still in pit lane. King has not left pit lane yet. Keep an eye on the left of your screen, the right of your screen. Check on the maps here. It looks like it's going to be close. Keep an eye on the left of your screen. Will they come out ahead? There is King right up the road there. So Maze will just kind of slot in for second. Actually, Reds will have a chance here, and he's going to kind of close the door there, and Reds is probably not too thrilled. Yep, there goes the end plate of Reds. Reds is probably not too thrilled. Looks like shades of 20, I want to say 17, but it could be 18, with Signs and Stroll at Bahrain. Reds probably not too thrilled. Supposed to leave the space, presumably. Had nowhere to go, and Maze kind of cut the corner there. Maze maybe should have left a little bit wider, but both drivers are entitled to their own opinions there, and it'll be interesting to see how the stewards rule it. But what we do know is Reds is missing a particle of his wing, so he is going to be trying to limp here, and definitely going to have to pit again. And that is really going to throw any chance of getting a good finish out the window here. Now back up to the battle here. We got a battle here for train here. My mistake. We got 5th, 6th, and 7th here, all fighting, as Scanny's able to kind of get past Maddie for 6th, I believe, and now Smitty under pressure from Demo. Demo and Smitty fighting again here. Oh, Scanny gets a little loose there on retrospect, and he's going to have to try to get the power back down here. But yeah, very easy to show. Those mediums are showing their life or their wear. But yeah, almost every driver is going to have to pit again. The only driver that's not King on down is safe to go to the end for the most part. So it would just see how they slot in when they decide to pit. No driver pits this time by. As now Reds gets 3 for multiple warnings. That downforce is really affecting him. Now that adds 6 seconds to his total, and he's going to have to pit again, as you can see. And he's probably cursing in the cockpit right now, cursing the name of Maze. As Leslie now will jump him for 9th. But the good news is I think Reds will come out ahead of Connor, so no more damage at the very least. Now Reds is actually retired from the race. So Reds is, I guess, fed up or doesn't think he can rebound and get any points, and Reds decided to throw in the towel. That is not going to help him in the championship hunt here. That is probably going to be at very least, the gap is 20 points. And considering the fact that now it's basically a 0 for Reds, if King finishes in the points, now there's a big train here. Yeah, is now King going to try to make quick work of this, try to get past the Haas driver here for, at the very least, 6th here. Going to go for a double lunge here, go for a 2-piece. Going to make it work and have the inside lane here. Going to try to make it work. We'll cut on board here with Matt here to see if how much King can get here. Big smorgasbord up here, as Scanny going to try to make work on Demo. It looks like the Alpha Atari drivers are going to try to make quick work. 2-piece for King, and King is going to make even a move on his teammate. And that is a great drive by King. King is able to make pass 3 cars on 1 straight. King showing why he leads the championship up in the 3rd. Demo to 4th. Scanny kind of overlocked the corner, so he had to move on Demo, then loses it. And then the Haas boys 6th and 7th, with now Maze and Leslie catching the back of this train. But that is not what they want to see King get on ahead, because now King has clear space for a while, and Maddie and Leslie and Maze are both going to have to pass this train again. As it looks up the road here, Scanny gets a little bit squirrely with the McLaren driver, and that is going to allow Smitty to have an answer on the outside here and make something happen. We got a chance here. Scanny's going to be under pressure. Maddie going to get on by up the road here. So Maddie going to make the position here. Can we have a lunger? Oh, Maddie puts a little bit of a squeeze there. Now going to go on the inside of Smitty. Maddie and Smitty still side by side here. Maddie going to have to concede the spot here because Smit is going to have the inside line here. But now that's going to allow Scanny to try to hang it. And they're side by side going through the S section. That never works. There goes the bollard. And it looks like Scanny's going to have the road here. Maddie going to have to just kind of cut the corner there to survive. And that is going to allow Leslie and Maze to get on by. So Maddie, the big loser there, went for broke and ended up losing big. Now down to 9th. As now it looks like Lesty going to have an opportunity to make a chance here on Maze. We got 9th, 8th, 7th. Lesty thinks about it. Going to try to go around the outside. Can't make it happen. Oh, he's going to try it anyway because it looks like Scandy kind of closes off the door there. Not allowing Maze a road to go, but it's going to allow Lesty to kind of tuck in behind. And now we got Lesty as well. Going to have a chance on Maze. BRS open for all 3 drivers. There goes Maze. Maze going to try to make a pass on the outside. Can he outbreak Scandy going into the corner? Yes, he will. Scandy, well, hold on a minute. Scandy kind of goes in and locks up a little bit. They're still side by side. Now Kabasmi 3 wide with the Red Bull. I have not had a chance to catch my breath here, so hopefully they do it soon or I will be passing out as Lesty is going to get by Scandy. Now Scandy going to fall out dearly here. Can Lesty finish the deal? Lesty cannot, as we still got Smitty and Demo fighting up the road there, and now Scandy going to fall down to 8th. Lesty and Maze taking fresh advantage of those fresh tires, and they'll slide in 6 and 7 for right now. And now I'm going to take a chance to breathe. Whew. See, it's a little easier when you have a co-commentator because he could take some of those words from you, but since I'm all alone, I'm having to take out a word salad here, as now Scandy has decided to pit on those mediums to try to maybe get an undercut on this pack. Anyways, Lesty has a chance here up the road to take a lunge here on Maze. He will make successfully the senior team on the junior team here, but it looks like Maze is now just going to kind of let go here, knowing what just happened between Scandy and Maddie. Maybe it's for the best to kind of let Lesty go here and see if he can catch the next 2 cars, then fight, because... Oh, as Demo goes very wide there, as I was kind of looking down, and yeah, Demo really mucked up the S section there, and yeah, he almost took Lesty for a ride, and Lesty... Now, no damage. Lesty maybe had a Code Brown moment, but no damage for Lesty. And I think that finally will give us a little bit of a a little bit of a breath I so desperately desire. So back up the field here. King has cut into Kenobi by well over 2 seconds, and he is coming quick on Kenobi. Then you got Smith, who's 6 seconds behind and falling to King. So King is basically unchallenged here. And like I was saying before this whole battle occurred, that with the Reds not being able to finish this race, it is really going to put a hamper on the championship lead, because the gap was only about 20 piece, and now it was a 20-point gap, and now it is grown. It's going to at least grow to the very least at max 46 points, because remember, King does have the fast lap of the race. So, and with only 3 rounds to go after this, 3 or 4... Mexico, Brazil, yeah, 3 rounds to go after this. It's highly unlikely, unless King spontaneously combusts or has a bunch of poor rounds, that Reds can get back in this. But you never know. You do never know. But anyway, Smith is going to hold off Lesty here. Now Lesty's going to have a lunge here on the Haas driver, and he's going to try to make it work here. And he's going to try to hold on. And Smith goes a little too wide there, and that's going to allow Lesty to get on by. So Lesty up the 4th, making quick work of these drivers here, while Maze seems to be a little bit more optimistically cautious in trying to survive. Or maybe just not having as much pace on those mediums. As you can see, that Smith has gone 16 laps on those mediums, along with Maddie going 14, and the both drivers up ahead here currently, Troppe and Kenobi, both on 14, as Smith gets multiple warnings again, as now Maze is definitely going to have a lunge here on the Haas driver, Smith, for 5th. Now what I wanted to check, though, was the penalties here, because remember, penalties will come into play here, as Smitty has 8 seconds, Lesty has 6, Maze may be playing the conservative game here, knowing that he will jump Lesty as long as he can stay in range, as he now makes a pass on Smith for 6. So, Maze up to 5th, Smitty down to 6, and remember, Troppe does have 3 seconds, so right now, Troppe is currently leading this race on merit, but when he has to pit, it will be interesting to see King will cycle out to the lead, but considering that he has 12 seconds on Kenobi, it's safe to assume that Troppe will not be affected by that 3-second time penalty, at the very least. But we'll see how they cycle out when they pit, as Kenobi now decides to pull in the pit lane here. Probably not going to hold up King too much, even though you probably could argue he probably should, because Alfa Romeo is going to get a very good points haul here in the Constructors, with Bezir not being able to finish. So that could definitely shrink the gap in the Constructors. As we'll see where Kenobi cycles out by staying a little bit long in the tooth here. He's definitely going to fall down to at least 6th, 7th, as now Maddie pits as well. Because remember, Smitty and Maddie also have to pit as well. So Kenobi's going to come out, I think, ahead of Demo. Yeah, Kenobi's going to come out in 6th position. And when Smitty has to pit, it will be 5th position. So Kenobi is going to be P5 on the grid for... Actually, sorry, he'll actually be 6th. My mistake, because Troppe has not pitted yet. And obviously he's not going to jump Troppe. So... Actually, no, never mind. My mistake, because Troppe will not fall. So never mind. I am... Kenobi will be 5th when everything cycles out, and Troppe will be somewhere in the top 5 as well. So that's what you need to know. As King is now 12 seconds behind, as now Connor's actually made a pass on Maddie as they come out of pit lane here. Connor in 10th, Maddie in 10th. So yeah, we got 11 to go here, 10 to go when Troppe crosses the line in about a sector's time. And it looks like Troppe, again, if you look at the times here, Troppe has been able to kind of hold same times with King, even on old mediums. So with some fresh softs, it'll be kind of interesting to note, can Troppe run him down? I don't think it's improbable, but it will be interesting to see when he gets those fresh softs what he can do with them. And you can see a Ferrari just up the road there in the back there going through corner 1. So we'll see if Troppe decides to pit. Troppe has not. Actually, Troppe has decided to pit. Did not flash up my screen for some reason. But anyway, Troppe is going to pit here, so he's definitely going to lose out the lead here, definitely. The question is, can Lesty jump him? We're interested to see here. Troppe has not left. Troppe is now about to hit exit here, so he should come out ahead, way ahead of the Red Bull. So Troppe is going to come out about 6 seconds behind King. Maybe 7 when he gets up to speed. So he's got no pressure from behind. Lesty third, Mays fourth. Now with Smitty pitting, he'll be the last runners out of the pit. So Kenobi will cycle in the 5th. And it'll be interesting to note, can Demo jump Smitty? I think he will, because remember, he's going to have to serve 5 seconds anyway. So Demo is going to jump, and now Demo's at the fast lap of the race on softs, but I think that time will come down. So yeah, him and Scanny will get behind, but Smitty will come ahead of the other McLaren at the very least. So back to the battle up front here. Troppe is 5 seconds behind King with 10 to go. But you do got to remember that Troppe does have 3. Have to take his time and add 3. So Troppe has basically 8 seconds on King. So he has to get by him and get 3 seconds, or hope King gets 3 seconds. But with how King's been kind of driving well here today, I don't think King is up on pace for 3 seconds anytime soon. But we'll have to find out sooner rather than later. Mays currently on the back of Lesty as well, keeping the gap honest, because remember, Lesty also has, I think, 8 seconds. Quick check here. Yeah, he has 9 seconds, so Lesty will fall down to 5th at the least if he can't get the car in gear here. Lesty nowhere but safe here, because if he loses 3 seconds in 10 laps, he could be under pressure. Now Troppe has really closed the gap here. Already down to 4 seconds here, so he's making those softs work. But remember, if we remember what happened to Reds' softs kind of conked out about 9 laps in, so it's safe to assume he gets about 4 to 5, maybe 6 laps of optimal tires, and that's the case. As one of the Ferraris is around, and that's beat by a vegan. Yeah, he's wrong way around. If he get it fired quickly, there will be no safety car. Gonna have to deal with the gravel on the tires here. He will get it refired, so no safety car, no threat of a safety car. We have 9 to go here. Troppe, again, really closing in here. Purple Sector 1. So we'll ride on board here with the Racing Point driver and see if he can roll down King and catch King and pass King and get a second win on the season. Take a quick sip of my water here because I know my voice is going to need it. Again, 3 seconds here. It's going to really come down here. Going to use all that. We'll check the telemetry to see the ERS battle here. Yeah, King has almost no ERS. That's really going to hurt him on the straight. While Troppe still has about 40-something in the tank saved. While so that is definitely going to help Troppe on the straights, because he's going to have that more oomph down the straights. Lesty has 24, Mays has 28, and Kenobi has 42 for your top 5. So if a safety car were to come out, they would obviously get to save a lot of it, but it is interesting worth noting that Troppe has a lot more than the top 5. So we'll take telemetry back off the screen here. Now down to 2 seconds here. He is coming like a bat out of metaphorical HE double hockey sticks. I don't know if I can say that word on air, as Vegan is going to come into pit, and he will be pitting, and that will be down to P13. So Vegan out of the points, no chance of getting points, and Connor is safely probably in the points. So your top 10 bearing another accident or crash is pretty secure for points. So I doubt that will change. Troppe now down to 1.5 seconds here, coming fast. But can't afford to do another cut here, because if he does one more cut, it's GG to his any chance of him winning this race. Because he has to pass him and get 3 seconds clear on those softs. I know I'm repeating myself, but with nothing else really to report here, and kind of alone, sometimes you repeat your stuff to no one. Take another quick sip of water here. There's a lap car up ahead here. I believe that is Exelic, but it will not affect the competitions, and the car will ghost. But now Troppe is in almost DRS range. I don't think he'll get it this time by, because he was just outside the activation point under 1 second. But now he'll definitely have it next time by, though. But King will also get DRS, well, maybe on the straight if he can, Exelic can go a little bit fast enough. But I doubt that's the case. Now that she's getting the blue flags, King will definitely get on by here. So no DRS for King from him, but Troppe will get it from King. It looks like King is not saving that much ERS in retrospect with Trape. So Trape is really saving his, though, because he knows he's going to need it as King gets on by, but King is still about 18-17% ERS, so he's not saving it. So maybe he's just kind of just riding out for the long haul here, as now King is definitely going to be under pressure here from Trape. Trape will definitely have an opportunity to make a lunge here. DRS open, King gets the better exit, but not even going to use the slipstream here, not even using the ERS, as you can see on the steering wheel. So it looks like Trape is just going to kind of wait his move for the next long straight here. Going to get a good lunge here, going to go a little bit too aggressive, almost possibly runs to the back of him, but Trape is just going to kind of hold out here. Probably wanted to make that pass, considering that the S section is going to be tough here to kind of sit behind a slow car. Looks like King gets through that S section a little bit better, though. But King goes a little bit deep. But yeah, King goes through it a little bit better as Matty now gets another 3 seconds to add to his name. As they're going to come up through the section here in retrospect. Could have a lunge here if he times it right. Now King gets 3 seconds, so this is now actually a fight on track. That is what King not wanted to see, because now King and Trape are equal on penalties. So now Trape is actually fighting him on track for realsies, 0-0. The slate is wiped clean, as now King is going to have to defend for his life. Can't play a lawyer ball here. And now that's going to allow quick work for Trape inside to outside, make the pass for the lead of this race, and Trape is going to make a quick work, and he's going to get on by. But now King going to go very aggressive on the brakes there, going to try to hold the spot, going basically Hail Mary throw here, and because he knows he is a sitting duck on those mediums, he lets him by. It's race over, went very aggressive on the brakes, could not make it work, and Trape is going to make quick work of that pass, and Trape is now going to say, see you later, sayonara, goodbye, and Trape is going to other adjectives for goodbye, and I guess those are technically not adjectives, those are synonyms. Regardless, Trape going to check out, presumably. But we'll have to see. Maybe King can have an answer here. We know King likes to go aggressive on the brakes here, but with those mediums, the only hope he has is those softs. He used up a lot of those softs to catch him. But if that is not the case, it is not going to happen here. As we do have a comment in the section, yep, King is known for doing those dive bombs. I think Disc Stu is well aware that Canada, I think King threw a couple of those dive bombs on a bunch of different AlphaTauris. So, yeah, I know Japan was last week, but we're not in the land of kamikazes. So anyway, King is, just losing ground here big time on those mediums. And, yeah, I think that's all she wrote. Kenobi, though, has caught the back of Maze. So we'll cut back here to 5th dwarf battle here. As we can see, Kenobi has to get up as high as he can because he needs to help his constructor battle here. So Bezier not be able to score points. Kenobi's flying the flag for Williams here today alone. And with King ahead of him, he needs to get as many points as he can to try to minimize the damage in the constructor standings. And he is slowly reeling in Maze, and both of them don't have time penalties. And with Lesty again having 9 seconds, Lesty's definitely going to fall. So this is for the final spot at the podium, actually, between Kenobi and Maze. So Maze coming back from a sabbatical, trying to get back on the podium, while Kenobi trying to get back on the podium for the first time since, I want to say Monaco, but I think he may have crashed out of Monaco. He probably had a podium somewhere. Maybe I'm not even wrong. I don't think he even had a podium at all, so looking for his first podium. Regardless, going to make a lunge on Maze here, and he's going to make it work. And Kenobi up to 4th, which will then be P3 when you take Lesty's penalties into consideration. Maze are going to try to have an answer here, at the very least. But luckily, at least for Lesty, Demo is not really closing the gap, so Lesty at least has a top 5 to his name. Now King gets 5 seconds for cutting, and I think he may have broke his wing or something. I was paying attention to the battle in the back there. I don't think he was close enough to make anything happen there. But that is not good for King in the slightest, and that's actually what Reds wants to see, because that's going to allow, at the very least, he has got to serve that 5 seconds. We'll see if he also has wing damage here. No, he does not. It looks like he's actually going for the fast lap of the race here. Cut the corner there pretty nicely, so I didn't get a good look there. Someone probably be able to fill me in, but because his intervals were kind of far as I was watching the battle. They're now King down to 5th, going to try to go for the fast lap of the race here, but maybe he cut going in the pit lane. Not 100%. But yeah, so the stewards will probably definitely want to look into that one, because I'm hoping we're going to try to pull up a replay here. We've got 5 to go. So yeah, but he's definitely going to go fast lap of the race here, but with 3 added to his name. He's probably going to catch Kenobi and Maze, but we'll have to see here in retrospect, see what he does. But what will the stewards do about that 5 seconds, depending on how it was received? So anyway, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait here. He's 5 seconds down the road here from Maze, but he is on fresh sauce. We know how fast King is, so sound the sirens for the Maze and Kenobi, because they could be under pressure here big time. So I'm still trying to pull up a replay here, see if I could possibly get a clue of what may have happened or what may have conspired to cause that incident in question. But my replay's a little bit far dated here. Keeping an eye on it as we, again, not missing anything. I'm also keeping an eye on the Thailands as well. So, again, nothing really a close battle on track between Lesty and Kenobi. Lesty trying to go for possibly a P2 on the grid if King can't catch, as 11 is going to get a 3 seconds added to their name as well. As now definitely Kenobi is going to have a chance here to make something happen at the very least. But he's not going to make it occur here on the straight here, but could have a good run through the S section here. It looks like, at least according to the replay here, one more check here. It looks like, as I'm really just trying to check the replay and the thing here, it looks like he may have got 5 for pitting and may have cut the corner in the entry to pit lane. So I don't see anything else happen on retrospect. He didn't go wide in that last corner there, so it may have been a blunder going to pit lane that got him 5 seconds. But that's at least according to what I'm seeing on screen. But anyway, Kenobi now going to have a chance here on Leslie the Twig, trying to get a P2 here, as King has cut well over 3 seconds in on Maze. And here he comes for a lunge here. At the very least, thinks about it. Well, I don't think he was thinking about it because he's a little bit too far away. But now with DRS here, going to use all the DRS he has, at least get a good X here. Now definitely using all he's got in the tank. Kind of a little bit sparing with it, as we know Leslie has almost nothing in the tank here. And here comes Kenobi around the inside, going to make the pass occur. And Kenobi up the second, Leslie down the third. And now Leslie's going to have to try to get a move on here because he needs to stay at least 9 seconds clear of Demo in order to stay inside the top 5. And now Kenobi probably at least smiling a little bit because at the very least now he's P2, but with King slowly reeling in Maze, it's a little too early to right away happy ending here. But I guess King was going for the fast lap of the race, or he's at least going for the fast lap of the race now to try to at least salvage some points, knowing that he was not able to catch Trope. So I guess he wanted to play the conservative ball here and get as many points as possible. But anyway, as we'll see here what times King sets down here, can he one-up Trope for an extra point, or will it all be for naught? It's going to be a 132.487, and now he's going to have a pass on Maze here, and he's going to make probably quick work of the AlphaTauri driver, especially considering the tire advantage, and he's going to make it happen. King up to 4th, Maze down to 5th. And if we check the lap times, yep, that is 3/10 clear of Trope, so that time probably will not be touched unless another driver tries to come down to pit lane and set a time. But now King 2-6 behind Lesty, and Lesty's only a second behind Kenobi. So King has a little over 3 laps here to try to make catch 2 drivers, and I think he's on pace to do it. But again, we'll have to see. But remember, also got to remember at home, King does have 3 seconds, so King has to get behind. Lesty doesn't matter. Once he passes Lesty, he's good. But Kenobi doesn't have a time penalty, so he has to get behind Kenobi and get 3 seconds clear in 3 laps, as Vegan gets a 3-second time penalty added to his name. So add another 3 for Vegan at the viewers at home. So yeah, King is now clearly within a second of Lesty, and definitely will have a lunge on the long straight. And now Tropic gets actually yellow flag sector 2, beat by Vegan, has crashed. It's too late for a safety car. There will be no safety car called, bearing anything random happening. We'll check on board here with Connor here to see if you can spot a Ferrari on the screen. Should be coming up to the white side of your screen here, somewhere around here. Looks like, I guess he disintegrated before we got to check here, but it looks like he may have lost it off exit there, lost it off the 8-9 complex there, and may have went the wrong way around. Back to the P3 here, trying to catch the car here. King already caught Lesty and going to make a pass on that last corner there. Didn't even wait for the straight, but Lesty going to have a lunge here, going to at least have a chance to fight back, but not going to be able to make it happen. King to 3rd, Lesty to 4th. So King now 2 seconds down on Kenobi, and with 3 as his name, he's basically 5 seconds behind as Smith gets another 5 seconds here. We do have a battle here for 8th or 7th on the grid, but with Scanny having no time penalty and Smitty having multiple, that's basically for naught. So we'll cut back on board here with King. Can King check Kenobi and make something happen here? Kenobi definitely trying to stay high in the constructor standings here. Demo gets 3 for multiple warnings as well, so Demo going to add 3 to Demo's times. King down to 1.6. Even if I think he catches him, I don't think it's going to be enough. As actually, yep, so that is actually worth noting. I don't think King will have enough here to kind of reel him in, but we'll have to see. I mean, if he does reel him in, he has to add 3 to his time, so I don't think it's too little too late for King. So I think King is going to get the extra point, but he's end up going to lose 2 points in the grand scheme of things. But with Reds, not getting any points at all, that's still a net gain. on second place, as now Smitty has made a pass on Scanny for 7th. Actually, they're still fighting here, as we do have Yelfax Sector 3. Someone is wrong way around, or at least slow. That is Maze. Maze looks like he may have lost it off the X section there, so hold on a minute, folks. He's still going to get Lesty, but actually, yeah, it's just kind of a mistake there. Nothing really worth noting. I was going to say it could allow Lesty to get away here, but unless Lesty gets another 3 seconds on Maze, it's too little too late. As King now really on the back of him up the S section here. We got that battle for that, and we got a battle for 7th and 8th here between Scanny and Smitty, but both battles are kind of all for naught, because unless they get major time advantages here, it's highly likely something will happen, except for the fun of it. So King, kind of on the back here. Yellowflag Sector 3, one of the Haas drivers is a bit slow. I think that is Maddie. So we got, but anyway, Trape already on the long straight here. We'll cut back to Trape when he gets close to the line here. But Trape doing relatively well here. No mistakes other than the 1-3 second here. Looks like he's going for a very late lunge there. King, known for those dive bombs, and he makes it work. Kenobi, knowing that he has 3 seconds, knows he can just kind of just let him by here, because there's no way in HE double hockey sticks that King will be able to get 3 seconds on Kenobi within the last sector here. But it may be a little bit anticlimactic, but Kenobi knows he needs to just kind of bring the car home, and he's got a P2 almost locked up. But anyway, we're going to cut back on board here with Trape as Vegan has left the session here, as Trape is going to make it 2 for 2 here. Looked like he was kind of SOL when he got that 3-second time penalty, but he was able to run down King, and he's able to make this race happen, and he has won the United States GP. He has won my home race, and Trape is going to come home in P1, back-to-back wins, and even though he's out of the championship hunt, he can at least set himself up high for multiple wins this season and set himself up good for next season. King up next here. King going to cross the line here, and he's going to slide in for P2 on the grid, but Kenobi's going to jump him for his 3rd podium of the season. Someone has lightly corrected me. This is his 3rd podium of the season. I undersold Kenobi. I am truly sorry. King 3rd, Leslie 4th. Maze is going to jump him in his comeback race, and Maze up the 4th, Leslie to 5th. Demo is too far back to jump Leslie, so Leslie's going to come home P5. Demo's going to come home 6th. And then time penalties are going to come into case, as Smitty has got around Scanny, but considering that Scanny's got no time penalties, Demo will be 6th, Smitty will be 7th. Will Scanny jump? Scanny will jump Smitty, but no much higher. Maddie up next, and Connor for 10th, and that will be your top 10, because I don't think Connor can jump Maddie, because I think Maddie's got a lot of time penalties, but I don't think it's enough. So Maddie's going to come home in P9, and Connor is going to, when eventually he decides to come around here, he's going to come home in P10, and then we got the 2 Mercs, 11th and 12th respectively, of 11 and Exilic. As we wait for him to cross the line, there he goes, Yellowfag Sector 3. I think that's just 11 going a bit slow. It's just kind of maybe enjoying the sights and sounds of the United States. But, yeah, great country, Indy, as she goes for the last corners here, and that is going to be that. But, yeah, Trape, back-to-back wins here. Great performance from Trape. Didn't put a foot wrong here. I did get a 3-second time penalty, so I guess he did put a foot technically wrong, but was able to recover and get the win. And Kenobi comes home 2nd, and King comes home in 3rd. So the comeback races for King gets him a net P3, but if he decided to stay out, probably could have got 2nd position. But I guess he wanted the fast lap, so he ends up getting a net loss of 2 in grand scheme of things, but still a net gain of 15 on Rez, who's 2nd in the standings, who was able to get 0 points on the day. I know I'm repeating the obvious, but you never know. Someone may have not paid attention, may have just been having the TV on silent. Who knows? But anyway, we'll take a look at the final results here. Trape comes home with a 2nd win. Actually, he did get another 3-second time penalty as well, so if King stayed out, he could have maybe made it work, but well, you'll never know. As Kenobi will come home 2nd, get his 3rd podium of the season. King 3rd, Maze in his comeback race in 4th. Lesty says he could get that 3 seconds removed, so if that is the case, could jump up as high as 4th, but we'll have to see how the stewards rule that. Demo 6th, Scanny 7th, Smitty 8th, Maddie 9th, Connor 10th, and that will be the end of your points-paying finishers. 11th, Exelic 12th, Vegan 13th, Reds looking for a better day here, definitely going to hurt him in the standings, finishing 14th. Big Boy in his comeback race was not able to finish well, only gets 15th. Bezier lagged out relatively early, and that's going to be a very shame performance of him coming home in 16th. Hennezer's crashed out, and he's going to be 17th. Malik 18th, and then John Haders rounds out the field in 19th position. So yeah, that will do it for me. I will quickly give you my driver of the day, and I'm going to give it to Kenobi. I think Kenobi did relatively well here, showed some strong pace during qualifying here, didn't put a foot wrong, did not get a penalty, and is able to walk home with a P2, and is able to help Williams in the constructor standings. So he will get my Pepsi token, my Driver of the Day Pepsi token, add to his total. I think that may be his second or third one in the season. But anyway, that will do it for me. Next week, I'm going to pull up the calendar here, but I think we are going to Mexico. And that will be next Monday at 8 p.m. GMT, which would be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I quickly pull up the calendar here, I will quickly confirm that it is Mexico. Yes, it is Mexico, and there will only be 3 rounds remaining. So if King is able to come here for the rest of the season, which he says he will, he could lock up the title next week, considering the gap's probably about 40, 45 points. So if he's able to get a net gain on Reds, the title could be won in Mexico next week. But maybe for Reds, he's hoping that is not the case. But until then, I am Pepsi Freak 2-2. I am signing off. Hopefully Liam joins me here next week. Hopefully he can join me and get everything situated, because I'd love to have him for the final 3 races. But until then, I'm Pepsi Freak 2-2. I'm signing off. Thank you, and good night.